Hi and welcome to another edition of Onside SA where Budge and I are going to be talking about the games that are coming up this weekend. There is an international break, as we know, but there's interesting moves. The transfer window closes in roughly 30-odd hours. We'll be talking to our pundit from overseas. We'll be getting Steve Braham, which is Stevie B, a Fulham man, to talk of football. He's got his finger on the pulse. We'll talk to him as well. Budge, the big talking point's got to be last one standing. The excitement's building.
Yeah, I've been given a bit of abuse from guys at Club Tab. Well, why didn't you phone me? I said, I phoned you, emailed you, now you're crying because you're not in.
Everyone thinks they'd be in, you know, and some of the shrewdies of this game are out.
Yeah.
But the point being that we predicted it won't go 7 weeks, Budge. We've had 3 weeks now, and there's 14 left.
There's been some dodgy last-minute goals, Paul. You know, as you know, Spurs, there were 30 on Spurs.
Yes.
Man City with Jamie, they scored the winner. Otherwise, there'd been four left.
Is that right?
Man City, there were 10 on Man City.
After 3 weeks down to 4. But it gets harder for the guys in because now they've used the big teams, so to speak.
Well, majority of them have used Man United and Man City. Several have used Everton or Leicester and Liverpool. So strangely, no one's on Arsenal, and not many have chosen Chelsea. So those will be the next two popular ones. But
well, I don't know about Arsenal, but we tipped Dick Goss and Larry Weinstein.
Yeah.
Larry stayed in.
Larry stayed in with Man United,
And Dick Goss?
Dick, good night,
Good night, Dick. Eh? So it's been very interesting. Just to let you know that on the weekend, the picks, 10 went through with Man City and 4 went through with Man United. So those two aren't eligible for a lot of guys. But 32 went out with Spurs, 17 with Watford, 3 with Crystal Palace, 1 with Huddersfield, 2 with West Brom and 1 with West Ham. So you can see it's diverse, but it's getting down to that time of the year where, or the season where we get a winner. And Budge, it's going to be very interesting. But Budge, just before we finish it, as you say, Club Tab are attacking you. I'm getting phone calls every day. When's the next one starting? Next one. Now, we said to them, we'll obviously get the next one going as soon as we can with the same conditions. And Budge, it could, these 14 could drag it out 2-3 weeks. I don't see it happening. Paul,
there's 3 more weeks until the end of September. Obviously, they don't play this weekend. I think there's 3 more league games. So we'll know by then. It may more than likely be the first week in October or the end of September. So let's just see what happens the next 2 games, and then we'll be in contact with all the guys. And
we know most of them now. All of them enjoy the format that you put up, Budge, and that you know everyone's team before the game starts. By midday Saturday, everybody's team's on their phone. So there's no stories afterwards. You can funk for your mate to go out if you're out. But the tip on the board is Larry Weinstein to win it. He's God favourite.
There's a couple of guys in my office walking around singing songs, I'm still standing, and all that type of stuff. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I see that. Now, we're going to try and get Stevie B from the UK, our pundit from the UK on the line. They're trying to get him now. And they will be trying. But in the meantime, while we wait to get hold of him, Budge, let's move on. Because we will be able to talk to Stevie B about Premiership signings. As you know, it's 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Deadline tonight.
Is it? So it's tonight. That's right, it's tonight. I got that wrong. I know in Germany it's 5 o'clock tonight, and it's an hour extra if you're in Scotland.
Spain an extra day.
Spain get an extra day?
Yeah. So
those peso boys. Okay, so let's just, while we're trying to get hold of Stevie B, I know they're trying again to get hold of him, let's look at the signings. Has the Chamberlain deal gone through?
Well, he's having the medical, or he had the medical last night at the England training camp. I think they're in Newcastle. So it'll go through.
So he'll join Liverpool?
Yeah. It looked like he was going to Chelsea, but he wants to play him in the middle of the park.
Yeah, he wants to. Both teams that he sort of knocked back is because of where they want to play him.
Well, I wouldn't sign him as a midfield player. You know, he's a
very talented player.
Yeah, but you know, how many more do you want? They've signed Naby Keita next year for...
Yeah, that's next year.
That's next season. But you know, they've got Can, Wijnaldum, they've got Henderson. Yeah, they've got Milner can play in there.
Yeah.
Extra legs. I don't think he's that good, to be honest. But
I rate him highly.
Well, we'll see. He's done nothing in my opinion.
So that's it's still on the fence, you know.
Yeah, I think that'll definitely go through.
Okay, now what's the story with Riyad Mahrez?
This morning, you know, Algerian FA granted him leave because he's in Zambia to go. They're playing a World Cup qualifier. And
what's he going to finish the deal and get back for the game?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So there's plenty of rumours. Barcelona, you know, Roma look at the favourites at the moment. Arsenal, you never know. But
Barcelona?
Yeah, I don't think he'll go there. But you know, newspaper reports, Paul.
That's what we want. That's for Stevie B, because the British press just write anything. Stevie's got to filter that stuff for us. But Right, well, we're still trying to get hold of Stevie B in the UK. Let's talk about deadline day, the questions now. As I say, we've got today to go through. What is the story? I'm going to ask you a couple of guys and you give me your opinion. Alexis Sanchez.
I just don't see him going. I know 70 million they've offered. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but
you know, Wenger, what's he going to do? You know, if he goes, you know, Gibbs went to West Brom. Did
Gibbs go to West Brom?
Yeah, he went to West Brom. You know, Chamberlain's walked out.
Yeah.
If he walks out,
what's the story with the German?
Ozil will stay.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the big clubs want him. You know, he's been ridiculed the last few weeks for his work rate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sign him for big money. I'd have him in my squad if it's 20, 30 million. But
what they're paying for people now, it's become incredible figures. Yeah. I think Sanchez is worth 70.
Yes, so do I.
If you compare him to the figures that they're using out there, Sanchez. Philip Coutinho, what's the story there? He's training with Brazil.
138, yeah. Apparently the Brazilian doctor said it was a mental issue. There's nothing wrong with his health. It was all stress related. That's why he was injured. But we'll see. You know, they've got an extra day, but the way Liverpool are buying, it looks like he could be going, spending that money. They've offered 138, they turned it down.
Sure.
I would take the money for that.
Virgil van Dijk, very good player.
Yeah, hasn't played for a while. You know, Liverpool have got to go, name their price. And is either coming or he's not. You know, Liverpool need a centre-half.
And they've just, they need a centre-half probably and a goalie. Yeah. So, gee, if he goes to Liverpool, they'll be strong.
Well, if you've got the 138 billion from Coutinho, you may as well spend it.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Johnny Evans, his name's been up there.
Everyone wants him all of a sudden.
Suddenly, yeah, everybody wants Johnny Evans. What's the story?
Yeah, he's a good
He's still with West Brom.
West Brom, yeah. So they've signed, they signed Gibbs at left back, so we'll see what happens there. But I like Johnny Evans, but 35 million, 25 million, he's a good squad player.
Well, how old would he be?
Late 20s.
You know, the teams are looking for players they can afford. Like Wimmer went, I think, for 18 million.
18 million, yeah.
Good player. You know, he just wasn't getting the game. We had too many good guys. I see Spurs have gone and strengthened their defence again.
I worry about Spurs, Paul, but, you know.
I worry about Wembley.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get moving on. Any joy with Stevie B? Sorry, I think we might be getting Stevie B any moment now. Right. Stevie, is that you?
Yes, it is. Last, good morning to you.
Morning, morning. Budge and I are here. You can say hello to Budgie as well.
Hi, Budge. How are you doing?
Good.
We'll get there we go. There's our man, soccer side. Our pundit from the UK, Steve Bram, 50 years with Fulham. Now, Stevie, Budge's first question he's going to ask you is obviously about Fulham.
Yeah. Steve, I see you beat Ipswich last Saturday. Disappointing start?
Yeah, it has been a disappointing start. I think you know, after sort of last season's coming so close, I think we're expecting to sort of get off to a bit of a flying start. Didn't quite happen. Probably should have won the first game, sort of gave away a very late goal. Yeah. And then the second game at Reading, we had a player sent off after sort of 30 seconds. So, you know, we were up against it from the start. But I think, by the sounds of it, they came back quite strongly last Saturday. Ipswich played well. I thought Mick McCarthy is quite an amusing character. After the game, he said, "Someone called the police, they murdered us." I think summed up the sort of the dominance that Fulham had yesterday.
Okay, so things looking good. Now, your coach, Slavica Jokanovic, you know, I've read he's not happy as far as the signing arrangements go. Just enlighten us, Steve. You've got a general manager. He's got no say. How's it operating?
Well, we've got the chairman's son, Tony Khan.
The chairman's son?
Of football. So the chairman's son is spending quite a bit of time over in the UK, sort of running the club on a day-to-day basis. And he has with him, brought over from the States, someone called Craig Klein, who is the stats man. And basically, no signing can be made unless, as well as obviously his sort of football ability, but they meet the sort of stats criteria.
So it's like that money ball with Oakland Athletics that happened years ago.
Yeah, very similar to that. And I think
that hasn't worked.
That's certainly causing a little bit of, I think, sort of confusion for fans. And I think, as far as the manager is concerned, you know, there are players I understand that he has wanted, but they haven't met the criteria. So he does have a say, but he doesn't. It's not up to him to say, "I want this player," and they'll go out and buy him.
Stevie, while we're just talking football, Budge and I have just gone through, quickly want your opinion. I don't know what's happening in the press because the deadline finishes today. We're talking about Sanchez, go or stay?
I'd be surprised if he stayed. I think if Arsenal could get somebody else in, I think they'd sell him, because if they don't, you know, they could get 50 million for him today. In a year's time, his contract's up. He's given no indication he wants to sign a new contract. So unless they just want to be bloody minded, I can't see why they would keep him.
Philip Coutinho?
Again, His heart doesn't seem to be in it. There's a lot of money at stake here. But Liverpool, everything that comes out of Anfield they seem very definite. I suspect that if they could get a couple of quality replacements in, they might be prepared. I mean, they just brought in Oxlade-Chamberlain. But there's going to be, I say we've got about 15, 16 hours left.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of activity.
How about Virgil van Dijk?
Again, is another one. Southampton are playing hardball, but if a player's heart isn't in it, he wants to go, and they're talking about anything up to 60, 70 million, then I think it would be hard for them to sort of keep him.
Yeah, hard to keep. And the last one we're going to talk about, suddenly everybody wants Johnny Evans.
Yeah, I mean, it's really changed, and big teams as well, and you sort of think, with all the sort of defenders that Man City have got and Chelsea have got, would he really want to go to either of those clubs and end up possibly sitting on the bench? He's towards the sort of latter part of his career, and you'd think that he'd want to be playing every week.
Yeah.
So, that's an interesting one. I think that one, if you're looking at sort of the late transfers, that one's come out of left field, but you wouldn't have expected the big clubs to be chasing after somebody like Johnny Evans.
Lovely. Stevie, thanks very much. Anything else, Budge?
No, just can your team get back in the promotion hunt, Fulham?
Well, I mean, interesting. Today, we are linked with one or two people today.
Okay.
If they... The rumour has it we're in for Dwight Gale. I'd be very surprised if
Newcastle,
that happens. We'd probably have to break the championship record to buy him, but it's going to be an exciting last 15 hours.
Yeah. Well,
just one last thing I have to say. I mean, I love the competition, and I really thought I was going to go deep into it, but I made a classic mistake. I bet your team laugh. I thought that the Wembley Hoodoo had to end sometime, but obviously it wasn't going to be last Sunday.
It'll end next time we play this, Stevie, but I'm sorry you went out with my team. So did myself and about 30 others.
30 others.
Yeah.
There's 14 left, Steve.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's it's exciting. I'm looking forward to the to when you start Last Man Standing 2.
Lovely.
Well, Steve, I think 7 of the 14 are Tottenham fans. So if that's the case, I'm coming over. I'll hook up with you. We'll have a beer somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Steve.
Lovely.
All the best.
All right. Good talking to you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye, Steve. Right, there we go, Steve Bram, and putting the boot into my beloved Spurs. I haven't seen Pochettino that angry for a long time. He's normally a cool head.
Yeah.
But he's signed players. He's brought in Hoyt and he's brought a couple of others. But let's get on to the World Cup qualifying, Budge, because people want to make a couple of pounds. They want to get on the right teams. Let's start with what we got going here. And Ghana, Congo.
Yeah, they're all Friday games, Paul. There's several Friday, Saturday, Paul. So that's why we haven't included, obviously, the Friday on the bet because it flights sometimes after the games. Got to fancy Ghana at home, Paul. They're struggling. Yeah. They haven't had a good start. They're in the same group as Egypt. So, but they play Friday and Tuesday, the reverse fixture. Then Congo away. They should win 3-2.
Nigeria at home?
Big game, Paul. Nigeria won their first 2 games. Cameroon have drawn 2. And they pull a big game.
The Cape Verde and South Africa, they're nearly joint favourites.
Well, I don't know how, but they play on an artificial surface. It's a blue pitch they play on in Cape Verde. Blue pitch, yeah, the Blue Sharks as they're known as. South Africa got a problem in goals. The main 2 goalkeepers are out, Cooney and Dane Cage. So we'll see who's in goals. They're saying Sanderland's in goal. Won't be easy. Stuart Bax has been moaning about the pitch, saying it's too bumpy. They're going to play on the counter-attack. But, yeah, South Africa's last performance in Nigeria was a good result. They won 2-0. So I think we get a positive result.
Budge, we need to get back into the World Cup. It's a lot of fun having a Bafana there. Now, Tunisia, Congo, Democratic Republic.
Game. Both won by the...
8-10 Tunisia.
Yeah.
Good side.
12 wins, 1 draw in the last 13 home qualifiers. Congo, they both got 6 points, Paul.
1-10, lost 1, Congo.
Yeah. Good, yeah.
Good game?
Should be, yeah.
Okay, what about Morocco? Now, Morocco, they're 5-10 against
Mali away from home, coached by a brilliant French player, Alain Giresse. He was in the 82 team, him and Platini. But away from home, Mali's struggling. You've got to think Morocco will beat them there, Paul.
Just taking camp from him, I saw a photo of Didier Deschamps, the coach of France. He's 48. He doesn't look well.
Oh, doesn't he?
He doesn't look well, and I thought, whoa, is that just one photo of him?
Yeah.
And then I looked and I saw a few photos of him. You haven't heard anything about his health?
No, I haven't. Maybe the team he's got, he should be in great health.
That's right. Yeah. All right, let's go on to Zambia.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of goals in this. Zambia at home have a full go. They're both struggling, Paul. They've both got to get a result. They're in the same group as Nigeria and Cameroon, so they're way behind.
Algeria can play.
Good team. Yeah, they've got Slimani, Moritz and co. But, obviously favourites, but I think there'll be plenty of goals in that, Paul. Draw wouldn't surprise me.
Gabon and
Ivory Coast. Now, Gabon got that Patrick Aubameyang, the Borussia Dortmund centre forward. They haven't scored at home. Ivory Coast win and draw for me there, Paul.
Okay, and then Senegal.
Senegal should win. They're in South Africa's group. So as long as Senegal don't win, it's a good result for Bafana. But I think Senegal will win easily.
Okay, so which is the better result for Bafana?
Well, we don't Senegal. That's the best. I know Burkina Faso were above them. Yeah. Remember, South Africa beat Senegal.
Yes,
the
correct.
Dodgy penalty, but we
is
don't need
Mane's
Senegal.
boys?
It's Mane's
Is Mane
boys.
gone into town for the qualifier?
Playing,
Okay, right. Let's go tougher ones now. I believe, and Kazakhstan.
This is a European. Kazakhstan, Montenegro. They're going well. Montenegro, they're second. That's Jovicic's team. Win and draw Montenegro. I know the odds won't be too good, but Kazakhstan, Paul, they're playing on an artificial surface, so it won't be easy. But you've got to fancy Montenegro. Germany, for me, you don't beat the Germans. They've won all the games. I know the Czechs at home have been a fair team, but 5-10 Germany in my bets. Next game is key. Denmark are third in the group. Poland are top. So Poland avoiding defeat will be their main aim. They've got Milik back, the guy Danis Krusha.
Yeah.
He was a guy who Napoli replaced when Higuain. I like Poland, but Schmeichel and goal for Denmark be hard to beat. But win and draw Poland for me. The Scots have to get a result.
If they win, does it put them in a good position?
Well, they're 4 points behind the second team, which is Slovenia. They're in England's group.
How many go through? 2 or 3?
No, the top team's automatic. The second team's in a playoff.
And you're in third?
Third, you're good night. You're out.
Sure,
so,
okay.
But the Scots...
How many in the group? 4, 5?
There's 6.
6. Norway, Azerbaijan.
Well, you've got to fancy Norway. Azerbaijan away from home are terrible, so you've got to fancy Norway there.
Okay, let's move on to some other games. They always seem to lock horns.
Yeah, Slovakia, Slovenia. These are the 2 teams that are in England's group. England are 2 points ahead of Slovenia and 3 of Slovakia. So Slovakia got to get a result. Draw would suit England and Scotland. But of the 2 teams, I like the away team, Slovenia. Yeah.
Romania 4-10, and Armenia 6-1.
Well, Armenia away from home, they've lost the last 7. That's Mkhitaryan's team. He's a captain from United. Romania should win. They're hard to beat at home. Obviously, the betting says that.
San Marino, you've got to get on. 40-1 at home.
Paul, I don't think they've won a European or a World Cup qualifier at home, San Marino. So 1-20, Ireland says it all. Likewise, England with Malta. Got to fancy them.
1-25, eh? Sure.
A nice double, yeah.
With Rooney gone now, they've gone for the younger squad. Let's go Albania.
These are all Saturdays, Paul.
1-10.
1-10 Albania. Liechtenstein are terrible, especially away from home. Now, the next one's a crucial game. Iceland are in the same group as Croatia. Now, they're behind them on head-to-head record. Yes. Finland are a funny team. At home, they have a full go, and they've got nothing to lose. I think there's goals in this, Paul. Iceland, obviously, as the betting suggests, are favourites. But the draw, don't be surprised. But Iceland have got to go for it, yeah. So, Iceland for me.
What about Georgia and the Republic of Ireland?
Well, Georgia at home, Paul. I remember watching them beat Scotland at home. They won't make it easy. Republic of Ireland, they've got a few injuries. Everyone loves the Irish, Paul, but the draw, you've got to throw the draw in as well.
There's 2 of them, obviously, the 2 Irish teams. Which one's Lafferty with? Carl Lafferty?
Carl Lafferty's with Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, that's right. He's with the other boys. Yeah. Okay, Serbia 1-8.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So, walkover.
Moldova, terrible. Likewise, Croatia against Kosovo. Latest team in Europe.
Yeah, that's right. So, okay, and then... what do you got?
Israel, Macedonia, 2 teams that can't qualify. So, we're hoping you've gone goals here. Of the 2 teams, Israel beat Macedonia 2-1 away. So you'd think they'd have too much at home. Yeah. But you never know with the Israelis. I went for them the last time. They got beat 3-0 at home. But Spain, Italy, you can't believe the qualifying rules. Great game. Would you believe that Wales and Romania were seated above Italy and France because of the seeding in their... It just doesn't make sense. So they're in the same group. Now, they drew the first game 1-0. I like Spain, Paul. Spain at home. They've got the next generation of players coming through. Asensio and those guys. I think they'll be too strong. Not that Italy are a bad team. They still got all the Juventus boys. But in Spain, I fancy Spain to roll them. Ukraine, Turkey. I like Turkey are the 2 teams. They've won the last 3 group games. These teams are 3rd and 4th. So they've got to have a full go.
Yeah.
And I like Wales, Paul. 12-10 Wales. I think they'll be too good for Austria. Bale's back in form. Yeah, I think they'll be too good. They've drawn their last 5 group games, so they've got to get a result,
Yeah, they've got to get a result. Okie dokie. Then, is there South African?
No. There's only the exotics now, Paul.
Okay, well, let's go and have a look. No South African soccer, but let's go and see budgets.
Yeah, I've gone the field in Zambia, Algeria. I've gone Ivory Coast, win and draw in Gabon. I think Spain will be too good for Italy. You know, the last game, I don't know why they put it in the Soccer 6, Canada-Jamaica, that's a friendly in Ontario in Canada. I don't know why they put that in. So I hate going out with friendlies, Paul. So I've taken the chance. I've gone Turkey, win and draw. I've banked Senegal to beat Burkina Faso. And I've thrown the field in the last game. If you want to go 1, 2, 3 Ukraine and go Canada being the home team, win and draw in the last, I wouldn't blame you. But that's the way we've gone, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Let's look at the next
You
soccer
know, the
six.
European one, just can't see many upsets. You know, I think Albania will be too good for Liechtenstein. I don't see Iceland losing to Finland. Likewise, Republic of Ireland and Georgia. I think Serbia will be too good for Moldova. I fancy Wales at 12-10 to beat Austria, and win and draw Israel against Macedonia. So
48
$48
rand. Nice and affordable, eh, Budge?
Yep.
Okay, what about the 10?
Yeah, I've had a dip on the 10, Paul. This is my main play on the weekend. I've gone the field with Zambia, Algeria. I've gone bank at Iceland because I needed an extra banker. I've gone Iceland to win it in Finland. I've gone Ivory Coast, win and draw against Gabon. I've gone Republic of Ireland, win and draw against Georgia. I've gone Israel, win and draw at home against Macedonia. I've banked Spain to beat Italy. I've gone the field with Ukraine and Turkey. I've banked Wales to beat Austria. Banked Senegal to beat Burkina Faso. And I've gone the field Canada, Jamaica.
Where's your weak link? Spain, Italy?
Well, it has to be just because of the quality. You know, Italy's a good team. They beat them 2-0 in the Euros, but they've changed their team, Spain now, and I think they'll be too good for the Italians.
All right, soccer 13.
Soccer 13s. You know, we've changed a little bit. I think Spain will beat Italy. I think Albania beat Liechtenstein. I've gone win and draw Israel against Macedonia. I've gone win and draw Republic of Ireland and Georgia. I've banked Serbia to beat Moldova. Banked Wales to beat Austria. I've banked Iceland to beat Finland. I've gone the field with the Ukraine and Turkey. So the next 5 are all Swedish games. I've gone biggest club in the world, Bromma Pochkana, to win and draw at Degerfors. I've banked Falkensberg, who beat Bromma Pochkana 5-1 away last week. So they should be too good for Gefle, bottom of the league. I've gone the field with the Sirieska, BK and Oskarshamns. I've gone win and draw Husqvarna. They've only lost 1 of the last 13 games. And Lujinskil should be too good for Odderfeld. I spent 230.
Okay, doke. Now, the bet times. These are the bets. Constructing the bet.
Yeah, you know, I've included
World
the
Cup
CAF.
treble.
Yeah, all our bets this weekend, Paul, have been Saturday mainly, and there's 1 or 2 teams that are playing on Sunday. I've gone Senegal to win by more than 1 goal. I've gone both teams to score in the Zambia-Algeria game, and I've gone win or draw Ivory Coast in Gabon, 1,500-2. Handicap treble, obviously all the teams have to win by more than 1 goal. I've gone Serbia to beat Moldova. I've gone Wales to beat Austria. And I've gone Spain to beat Italy.
By more than 1 goal?
Yeah.
You're going for the gloves on the
Well,
Spanish.
Paul, what's happened in that is whoever's second, you know, you may as well go for it because they're going to be 1 and 2 and the second team's in the playoffs. So if you're 1-0 down, you may as well have a full go.
Yeah.
They're level on points. So that's why I thought the Spanish will pick them off late.
Okay. Let's see what else we've gone for.
Yeah, the over 2.5 goals quad. I've gone Serbia, Moldova, Wales, Australia, Israel, Macedonia, and Finland, Iceland. Worked out at 18-1.
Good odds.
Yeah, both teams to score. Likewise, Israel, Macedonia, Finland, Iceland, Ukraine, and Turkey. 8-1, 1,600-2. The 3 games.
Okay, the next one.
And the next one's a bit of a mouthful. I've gone Wales and Serbia to score in both halves. So they've got to score in the first half and the second half. And the most goals to be scored in the second half in the Croatia-Kosovo game.
Explain that to me.
Okay, I think Kosovo will obviously park the bus in the first half. And the second half, once Croatia take over, it'll be 2-3 in the end. I think there'll be more goals in the second half than in the first half.
Oh, only in that game?
Only in that particular
that
game.
makes sense.
And the other game, obviously Wales and Serbia have to score in each half.
Okay, you're 6 on extra?
6 on extra, yeah. I've gone Senegal to beat Burkina Faso. I've gone Wales to beat Austria. You know, Spain to beat Italy. Serbia to beat Moldova. The last 2 are Sunday games. They were one of the few games that was betting on. Belgium to beat Greece and Switzerland to beat Latvia. Worked out at 20-1, Paul, 4,200.
Well, there we go. Fantastic. Well, that's our show for this week on Side. But bear in mind, keep an eye out. We will get those apps being sent to you by Budgie telling you what these 14 guys are going for in the last week. We'll all be funky when they go out, except one. Except one guy. I'm to be Larry Weinstein. And you've still got guys in your office, Smutsy.
Well, Guillaume Nell and Steve Lavo.
Are they both still in?
They're both still in. I must
Steve.
have seen my tips, but they'll never claim that. But
well, that's wonderful. So make sure that you're on side, and we'll see you next week.